Sleep, my little one. Sleep. I am the Sandman, and you can't resist me. Silence, you glub!
Welcome to Fanboy and the Snob, the channel where we review movies and sometimes have a podcast. I'm Chad.
And I'm Chris.
And today we're going to be talking about a little French film called The City of Lost Children.
The City of Lost Children.
1995, made by French people.
Marc Caro, Jean-Pierre Jeunet, Giles Adrian, Jean-Pierre Jeunet, again.
Ron Perlman's in it.
Yeah, and then Danielle Emile Fork, Judith Videt, Dominique Pion, Jean-Claude Dreyfus, Genevieve Brunet. I'm just trying to show off that I can pronounce French words. I don't know any French, but I can do the accent.
Tiki Hagado.
Where's Tiki Hagado? Oh, Tiki Holgado. And Jean-Louis Twinnet.
So why did we watch this movie, Chris?
Well, I wanted to punish Chad for making me watch Krampus. So I was going to make him watch, like, Solo or Aftermath or, like, something horrible that even I don't want to watch. Because it's super uncomfortable. Like, Irreversible, just two buds sitting down drinking beers and watching Irreversible. You know? I wanted to do that, but then as we were scrolling through, I was like, what's that? Or no, you were like, what's this? And it was just a still image of the doctor character in this movie with a kid in like a sarcophagus, and there was like machines and bells and whistles. And I was like, all right, we'll give it 10 minutes. If it's not interesting in 10 minutes, we're turning it off.
And within the first maybe like
5
seconds, we were both like,
what the fuck? Just Santa's coming through the chimney,
like
and it starts getting all like LSD-y, like Mandy with like the weird expanding and like the breathing, you know, and just more and more Santas are coming down, and this kid starts fucking freaking out. There's like 1,000 Santas in this one room.
So this is a Christmas movie.
Yeah, it hit 3 references to Christmas. I'm considering it a Christmas movie. Actually, the whole movie took place during Christmas.
Yeah, because they were wrapping the gifts and stuff. And
the prostitute or whatever is like, it's Saint Nicholas's Day or whatever like that. Yeah. So yeah, bizarre, surreal, trippy fucking film.
Yeah, so once it gets out of like Santa Claus thing, you just see this old guy in a chair like freaking out,
like screaming
in like so much pain, and you see the little kid just like
crying, and then you see 4 quadruplets, and they start screaming, and then a little midget girl starts screaming, and then there's a brain in a jar with like a weird camera, and you're like,
I love the way they made that movie. It's like it's like janky as shit.
Like GLaDOS from Portal moved too smooth. This was like you know, like the camera that comes out of Jabba the Hutt's palace door. That weird eyeball camera.
Yeah, they even kind of had that in this with the
Oculus.
They had like a little mirror thing, and it was like chink, chink.
Oh, what a fucking cool movie this is. And we're remembering the beginning and the end, but the middle was fucking bananas. So the whole plot of this movie, or not even yet, we're not even at the plot. So this movie takes place in this weird dystopian retro future Paris.
This is kind of one of the movies where I don't want to break down the plot too much.
No, I want to talk about
the coolness.
Yeah. Let's talk about the setting. So, did you ever play that game Dishonored?
I know what it is, yeah.
So, it's like this weird, like, it's not Steam, it's like Gaslight. You know, you read Gotham by Gaslight, right? So, you know that kind of setting. with like horses and carriages. This is like the next evolution where everyone's driving cars, but it's all like it's not Model Ts, but it's not Packards. And Ron Perlman's character said he used to whale, so they're still using whale oil for things. So it's like they have cars, they have whale oil, they have uh, engines, right? Gasoline, they have gasoline,
Yeah.
but they're not quite at like
It's like they have the technology, but they're just being kept down so much that they can't.
It's like they got.
advance.
It's like 1930, but they're stuck in 1890s. No, because 1890s was like Civil War. They're past the Civil War. It's like just before World War One.
I think it's more of like Depression era.
No.
Stuff.
Because
but
Depression
with cool technology.
Depression era had better cars and electricity and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of these people were still using like no, because they had electricity. Because remember, the guy was working on the grid. It's like New York in like 1911.
It's probably my favorite steampunk.
Yeah,
Like the film type
like
thing.
Steam Boy was okay in terms of setting for steampunk, but it's not steampunk, it's like diesel punk, I think is what they call it.
Diesel punk?
Diesel punk.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, there wasn't much steam, I
no,
guess.
there was a lot of like gas powered things.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just remembered the cult. That's why I got excited.
There was pretty much 3 factions going on with this.
There was the scientist and his weird family. Let's say that.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a second.
There was the street rat, like Oliver Twist,
The orphans.
being run by a conjoined woman with 3 legs and 4 arms.
Yeah. I love how they shot that too.
Yeah.
Because like they would just be working and one person would itch the other person's
Yeah,
arm
yeah,
and
yeah.
they just...
At first we were like, are they conjoined? And we're like, no, they're
Then
not.
you saw, because we saw by the hip. Then they do like a low shot and you see the one boot and I'm like...
But that was like the 4th time we saw them that they were like confirmed conjoined twin.
This movie reminded me a lot of Spirited Away with like kind of the visuals and like
It was-
the characters and stuff.
I believe the best way to describe this movie is surreal.
Yeah.
This movie was a fucking fever dream. It was bananas. It was trippy. It was strange. The dialogue was weird.
Yeah. Well, it's
Everything,
French.
everything was awesome though.
And you had Ron Perlman
Ron Perlman.
randomly.
Yeah, I don't know how he got in this French film.
It was early in his career, so he probably had to go overseas to get certain roles. And
But-
he's a big guy. He
But
fit
to
the
think
character.
like you don't think they had like a dude who could play a silent strongman over in Europe? Like they had to be looking for a Ron Perlman type,
Yeah.
you know? It's just a weird like he got lucky, I assume.
Because the guys who made this made Alien Resurrection, so that was only like 3 years off.
That's the movie you want to reference that they made?
No, I'm saying he was in that movie.
But it's like oh, you know the guys who made this, they also made
Well, I don't know what any of the other movies are. What's that?
Amelie.
I don't know what Amelie is. It's a girl with like really pale skin.
Amelie is a fantastic little French film. It won a bunch of awards when it came out, and every art ho chick, Amelie is her favorite movie. So if you want to bang those chicks with like the quirky hair and the glasses, and they're like, I just like to paint, you know, those horrible women.
I love Amelie. Did you ever see The Lost City of Children?
No. What you do is you go up to them and you go, hey, you ever seen Amelie? And she's like, it's my favorite movie. And you go, me too. Boom. It's about girls. It's a girl movie.
I love Alien Resurrection. I don't give a shit.
I thought it was stupid.
Of course.
Of the 3 Alien films, it's the worst. And I'm only counting the
That's
first
the 4th one.
I said there's only 3, Chad.
David Finch made the 3rd one. The 3rd one was pretty bad.
We ignore Prometheus. We ignore.
I liked Prometheus. If they actually made it not an alien movie, it's not fun. It's a good movie.
Yeah, it's real boring and it takes a long time to watch.
I like it.
You also like Krampus.
Krampus is great.
Dude, Krampus was bad.
You know what movie's good?
This one.
Yeah.
This one's fucking amazing. This one blew my mind.
So you brought up a cool point. If watching this movie and seeing all the sets, you said it kind of looked like Final Fantasy VII.
A lot of it looks like
What's the town called?
Midgard.
Midgar.
It looked a lot like Midgar, like especially in the Mako reactor. They were doing lots of shots where you'd be like up on the scaffolding, looking down as characters would run like in awkward angles.
Yeah, it was like the cool old camera styles that they used to have on all that.
This was 95, so they didn't have. Well, they were using some green screen. There was actually a lot of green screen. We just didn't notice it because fucking good filmmaking.
Mhm.
But they had to do like to make it visually engaging. They couldn't just show you a flat screen with characters on it because
Yeah.
that doesn't work anymore. Us as consumers are like seen it, done it, you know. And they didn't have like they couldn't do like a giant battle where like a big purple guy shoots a blue laser in the sky and then like thousands of gray things
I
fight.
wonder how much of it was like recycled sets from each other though, because they had the one set where they had the water and everything. I wonder if they just switched a lot of stuff around.
Yeah, I mean Monty Python filmed the same castle from different angles. There's
Yeah.
only one castle in Monty Python, even though they go to like 5 or 6 castles. They just film it from a new angle. Fucking, that's what you do, man. That's how
Yeah.
you cut corners.
I love the way they had these sets though.
It was so
The
pretty.
camera saved it,
It was
because if
such
you had them trying to film traditionally with these sets, it probably would look
or
really
or if
bad.
the guy was trying to do too much of like the whoa, you know,
Or if you had quick cuts.
or quick cuts. Yeah,
This movie did not have quick cuts.
this movie was like everything we like about film.
Yeah.
Really cool costumes, really cool characters, really cool setting, really cool script, really cool soundtrack. That organ,
Yeah.
the organ grinder. Whoever the fuck that guy was, he just shows up halfway through. I don't think he was the carnival barker.
I think he was.
I think the carnival barker died that night.
I don't think so.
Yeah, because the carnival barker had more of a like a smaller, blacker mustache. This guy had like the curly Q.
Yeah.
Because also the carnival barker lived in the red trolley. That guy lived in like the Scaramouche like traveling cart that actors would live in.
Yeah, maybe.
I think so.
So which one of them was your favorite faction? We'll start with your favorite first.
Favorite first.
I think I know what your favorite is.
Yeah, I like the church. They were super cool. It's these guys who've decided the world is too ugly, so the path to salvation is to blind yourself. And then by blinding yourself, you'll awaken your third eye, which is like a weird machine eye that they plant into you.
You see a green and black.
Right, and you get this weird thing that like this weird like sound gun that lets you hear things, but it like hears too much and they like freak out when they hear sound.
The kid like bit the apple and they go, ah.
And they're like screaming about how like the blind race is the master race and stuff like that. And there's like fire and there's like men with like no eyes and like machines and
Because
everything.
only like the really cool ones get the eyepiece.
Yeah, and they're all wearing like red black robes. Like they look like Adeptus Mechanicus from Warhammer. They look like servitors if you've ever played 40K or know anything about it. And they're just fucking abducting children at night and fucking like the opening scene at first, like the guy's walking through the crowd and he's handing out like business cards, and I was like, yeah, okay, yeah, you know, drumming up business. And then when you see him again later, he's standing on like a town square screaming about like the benefits to being blind, and he takes his glasses off and his eyes are gone. And I was like, what the fuck? And he was like, if you pluck your eyes out, you'll be happier, trust me. When there's a crowd of people listening to him, and I was like, oh, that's my jam. I love this kind of stuff. I'm in. That's what sold me on the movie, was the weird religious cult in the first like 45 seconds.
For me, it was that opening scene. I'm like, I need to see what's happening in this movie.
Oh, the screaming. Yeah. With the weird doctor family. That's your favorite faction?
I do like I wish it wasn't needed, but I'd like to see like the crazy blind church get.
Like in a fight?
No, just like more of them.
Oh, see,
I know it obviously wasn't needed for the movie, but that'd be a cool like. Well, now I'm getting into like sequel territory where it's,
but like
where
just
is it?
just the sermon, the slow zoom pan out sermon tells you everything you need to know about them. Like
I really want to watch Alien Resurrection after watching this. I want to watch how they did the camera work. I'm trying to think of some scenes.
I remember one scene in Alien Resurrection where they're in the sewer, or like the weird sewer thing.
Is that when the aliens, they had the guy in a wheelchair?
Yeah, but he's strapped to the guy's back
Yeah.
with the shotgun.
That was a cool scene.
That's the only scene I remember.
But yeah, the crazy family. It has the...
Okay, so they tell a fairy tale to explain the family. So there was a brilliant scientist who made 5 children, right? Because he wanted children. No, he made a princess. He tried to make a beautiful princess first, but she came out flawed, and she was the size of a child. So he made 5 children since she couldn't conceive, but they're flawed. They have the sleeping sickness. So, and they're dumb as shit. So in an effort to make someone he could talk to, he created a brain in a jar who's plagued by chronic migraines. So this guy creates his own family, and then he fucked off somewhere, and we don't know. And we get these just weird characters.
You're forgetting about the one that ages.
Oh, and then he created a brother
Smart as hell.
Just as smart as he was, but ages. He's only like
He
5 years.
can't have happiness or good dreams.
Yeah.
He's so unhappy. He ages so fast.
Yeah, because he can't dream, he's unhappy, and because he's unhappy, he ages at like 10 times. Fucking surreal.
So there's a scene when like the little clone brothers are like reading him a story and everything, and that's when it really clicks that this guy's probably like 12, like
yeah,
10.
yeah, because they're telling him a story about unicorns and giraffes eating
I
clouds.
like when like
and they
think
cycle in and out to keep the story going.
there's one part where the brother thinks he's done, so he just like gets up and you see like the old brother open his eyes.
The old
like,
man and be like, "No, you are about to go up the mountain," and he's like, "Yes, you're right. We went up the mountain, except for the giraffes. They stayed behind." You know, and then they cycle in a new brother who just picks up the story where the other one left off. Yeah, they were wacky.
That guy was a great actor. The
Fucking
clone one,
fantastic.
actually, the old guy was too.
All of everyone in this movie was perfect.
And the midget, the lady, she was the one that was in a Poltergeist. She was like the shaman lady, whatever it is.
I didn't see her. I didn't see her ending like that.
Yeah, that was fucked
I
up.
didn't like it because I felt bad. She didn't know any better.
I feel like her and the older brother knew better, but the four clones didn't.
She pulls up a 44 fucking Magnum.
Yeah, fuck her, dude. She was gonna shoot the little kid. And then
Yeah.
she tried to trap him in the thing.
True, she was evil for. But it's just something so weak and small dying. I'm like, oh, you know what I mean? That's just how when I see something defenseless hurt, I'm like, I gotta help that.
But the whole point of the family is they're hooking all these kids up to try to give him dreams. But you later find out that they're trying to make...
They're trying to give him a good dream.
So they're trying to like have him dress up as Santa Claus.
But because
So
the
horrifying.
family's so fucked up and weird looking, like every time they try to do something nice for the kids they've captured, woo, by the way, you captured. They're only ever gonna have nightmares. You fucking stole them from their houses. Yeah. So they like try to make the kids have good dreams by like dressing up as Santa and stuff, and it's the scariest Santa in the fucking world. And like they're singing some weird French song, and they're all like yell screaming it and like getting in the kids' faces, and like all the kids are crying, and then there was that gross kid, and then
I really think that the kids had no idea what was going on. They just wanted genuine reactions.
one of those kids was standing there like this. Like that's the most. No, it wasn't that. It was just. Like it was so there's no way they could have coached that kid to do the perfect just barely look like, and they were all trembling like
even that kid from the beginning scene, like he had true horror in his face. Fuck that.
It's because everything's like rusty and made of
Just
steel and grimy,
grimy.
and there's bird shit everywhere, bird shit and feathers. God, I fucking hate seagulls.
Let's talk about Ron Perlman's character. He's pretty much introduced in the street. They're doing like a street show where he's trying to break
And
chains.
he's the world's strongest man. Look, we wrapped him up in chains. Don't make eye contact because he might kill ya. And then as he's trying to break the chains, the carnival barker sees the kid robbing the little brother, right? Because he tries to reach into the little brother's cup, and the little brother bites him, and then he runs over and he's like, hey, don't fucking steal from orphans, which makes the guy run up and, ooh, you seem to be sick, mister.
Yeah.
And which just stabs a dude.
And Ron Perlman just does
like Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2, busts through the chain, runs over, sees his best friend dying, or father, or someone.
Yeah, probably his best bro.
And then tries to find the guy that stabs him. Who the guy that stabs him is the fucked up old guy that hangs out with the three-legged chick. Yeah. So
that's the three-legged
stories,
chick's little minion guy.
Yeah, the stories intertwine. But that basket setup with the dog was fucking genius. Brutally, horribly mean to the dog, but really smart.
Yeah, it's his little trap where he has the dog on a rope and he has a basket of food. So every time the dog runs over, the basket of food goes up.
It's got two pulleys. The basket goes up, dog, it's one of those to keep the dog from eating. Everyone was eating like pepperoni and shit, and I was like, God.
It's all cured meat everywhere. It lasts forever.
I just, like, I really wanted to just, like, have a thing of salami and just, like...
There's nothing better than
just
unwrapping a piece of pepperoni.
Dude, we used to go on Boy Scout hikes, and we would bring a wheel of Gouda and a big thing of pepperoni, and we would just, as we're hiking, yo, slice me off, and we would just, as we were just walking.
Me and Kyle used to go to Walmart and get the big pepperoni sticks and fight with them. Those things fucking hurt.
No shit. Oh, you hit me hard with something and it hurt? No way.
like chewing on a pepperoni stick.
I fucking
I
love
remember being a fat little child as a kid. My parents
I
getting mad.
still
They're like,
eat Slim
"You
Jims.
wait, Slim Jims are good."
But they're so bad for you.
Yeah.
I know, but I still eat. I'll go out and buy like the Mega Stick. I usually buy them when I leave here. I go to the fucking Shell and I buy the 50-cent bag of sunflower seeds, a 99-cent Arizona, and then a Slim Jim, and I just fucking driving home. The scientists live on an oil rig, which I thought was super cool. I like oil rigs. I wish there was more stuff set on oil rigs. They're just a cool setting.
Yeah.
There were scenes in this movie that looked like Silent Hill, like straight up.
That was the way the camera was working up again. I love how like you said it looked like little security camera footage, just like
Yeah.
It was good.
The soundtrack was amazing. The greatest Deus Ex Machina moment in cinema.
Yeah. Basically, there's a scene when
the organ grinder has an uncanny ability to control animals. So much so that he even controls fleas, which he created a poison that can control people's minds that he uses the fleas with.
Yes,
right?
it uses little music box.
And when you hear his music, the poison that he mind controlled you with makes you kill someone. Right? Without giving away too much, that's pretty much what it is. So eventually Ron Perlman gets bit by this flea and starts killing Minette. And Minette, single tear, makes a through various blah blah blah, leads to a giant boat crashing into the pier and snapping Ron Perlman out of it. It was like, I wasn't even
you
mad.
Can't get mad. You can't get mad because
it was
the type
so
of movie
good.
this is. And it was so elaborate too, like it hits a spider
No,
web.
don't
No,
even. Yeah, it hits a
the
spider
scene.
web. Put it this way, a tear hits a spider web and a boat crashes into the pier. So whatever events you can conceive leading up to a boat crashing into a pier is exactly what happened.
Ugh.
This movie's rated R, and we kept looking for the rated R scenes, and we
It
found
all came
them.
at the end.
We found
There
them.
was one set of boobs, some blood,
Knife in the eye.
knife. That was cool.
That was brutal.
One of the scenes where the guys get poisoned.
Don't give it away, but basically he makes the other guy watch him get killed.
That was brutal.
So what happens is the guy's choking one guy to death, and he takes the wire out of the guy that's getting choked, right? And then plugs it so the guy goes blind, and he's like, what's happening? And then the guy doing the choking takes his wire and plugs it into him. So he's seeing what the choker's vision is it, so he's watching himself get choked to death. That's fucking insanely dark.
I think that might be one of the most brutal deaths I've seen in like a movie, like psychologically, not like gory.
Not psychologically. Well, Saving Private Ryan. Mama.
Yeah.
That
Imagine
one,
just watching yourself being choked out.
Saving Private Ryan. No, stop.
Yeah, it was fucked.
Yeah. Oh,
I don't know. Watching yourself choke to death.
It's brutal. Watching yourself die has to be one, or like the knife scene in Saving Private Ryan, like slowly, like knowing, like, oh no, if I don't stop this, I'm gone. Like that's gotta be the worst feeling in the burning. It's gotta be like what it's like to get trapped in a burning building, where you're just like, oh fuck.
We gotta bring up the hero, kind of.
Ron Perlman?
No.
Oh, the original?
I didn't want to say.
No, the original. They don't know
Right.
what that means.
Yeah. So there's a scene when Ron Perlman and the girl are on like a plank, but it has like a big pile of fish at the end.
Yeah, they got buckets of fish. It's basically like you're on a gangplank and you're gonna fall into the water, and they put a big heavy bucket of rotting fish, and then the seagulls land and eat, and when the bucket becomes too light, you fall into the drink and die. A little elaborate, but whatever. And the weird eyeball cultists were throwing money down on who would fall in first, which makes Music Man come and save the day. But the little girl falls into the water because the Music Man didn't know the little girl. He knew Ron Perlman.
Yeah.
Because they all worked in a circus together.
I don't think they can swim.
They were tied up like from like neck to ankle. Like
Yeah.
you can't swim like that. You're fucked.
Well, the guy wasn't, so he didn't know her, so he didn't really care to save her.
Oh yeah, the Music Man wasn't,
Yeah.
but Ron Perlman and the girl was. So he's saving Ron Perlman. Ron Perlman is screaming to save the little girl. Little girl falls into the water. Basically, is going to drown. and then a fucking like diving suit, like
the really old school
like
one.
the circle with like the cross, and the I forget what they call them. Saves her and takes her to his like lair where he like catalogs. He's a treasure hunter.
I love how he catalogs her, puts a little tag on her.
Yeah,
I think he thought she was gonna wake up
he didn't.
because after that you see a skeleton, so he's just like keeping bodies too.
Yeah, he's keeping bodies. This movie's dark as fuck. Everyone thought he escaped, but I found him. Remember, that's the line. God, the soundtrack was so weird. It was
It's very can you say
unsettling.
unsettling. It sets like the mood perfectly
So
for a
much-
lot of the scenes.
Wasn't there a lot of fog? It wasn't foggy like London. It
I
was-
think a lot of the fog was to cover up the green screen and the matte paintings.
But
and
what
stuff.
I'm saying was like London in the Jack Ripper days was foggy and
Yeah.
smoggy. It wasn't grimy like that. It was and it wasn't grimy like an over.
I think it was more grimy of like all the engines.
It reminded me of like Philly back in the day, like just over industrialized.
yeah.
Like a New Jersey city, like just too many pipes running into the river with things spewing out of them. Everything was rusted and made of metal. It was always nighttime.
Yeah.
Like it was never daytime in the movie, really, was it?
Mm-mm.
Or if it was daytime, the towering buildings blocked the sunlight out.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it was all about orphans, a
Cult.
a dumb strong man, a mad scientist. This was a bizarre movie.
It worked perfectly though, the way they all came together.
It's definitely one of my favorites now.
Yeah, I like this one a lot.
I'm gonna show it to my kids.
I'll wait a little bit. Wait till she's at least 6 or 7.
Yeah,
I'll be scarred.
but scarring a child this young with crazy imagery is what creates artists. You know what I mean? So you're taking the risk. She could wind up blowing up a building, or she could be the next Kurt Cobain. You get all that money when she kills herself. Is it? What if she grows up to be shitty?
She won't. She's my kid.
Exactly, man. Like, exactly.
But overall,
10 out of 10.
yeah,
Definitely.
on Rotten Tomatoes, it's funny because I have like a 74,
74 critic, 90
90% fan.
audience. But guess what?
I
Rotten
think
Tomato-
the audience fans are people that just don't get it, and they're like, I don't like it.
the critics were looking at it. They remember what I was doing at the beginning of the movie, where I was like, "What's the point of this? What's happening? I don't get it. Why is this scene here?" But then halfway through, I was like, "Wow, whoa!"
Yeah, you
It's-
figure it out. It all comes together.
Yeah, but I feel like most critics, they get the screeners, so they only see they take an hour-long movie and chop it down to 20 minutes. You just see the important part. Like, have you ever stolen a movie that was supposed to go for the Academy?
Mhm.
Literally during the scenes, it'll say
Oh,
for your
yeah.
consideration.
Yeah.
Like I feel like they see those scenes only.
That's
And this movie didn't have a lot of for your consideration scenes because
Yeah.
it was a giant for your consideration scene.
like this is one of those movies where people say our movies art and all that generic like cheesy bullshit.
Dude, if anyone doesn't think film is art, is retarded.
But show him this movie, how it was filmed, the
Film?
sets and everything.
I was saying this to my brother the other day because he was like, "I don't like movies," and I was like, "You're a photographer."
Andrew.
Yeah.
Andrew's weird, dude.
Andrew was like, "I don't like movies," and I was like, "You're a photographer, right? You think photography is amazing?" And he was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "All right, now imagine the picture's moving." He was like, "Okay." Now imagine there's music that fits the picture moving. And he was like, "Okay, now imagine there's a story that fits the music with the picture moving." He was like, "Okay, now imagine there's someone that's in that story acting it out really well while the picture's moving and there's music. Is that not the ultimate form of expression in art? Film is the ultimate form of expression in art. It's everything. It's acting, story, music, film, lighting, colors, everything matters. It's
Yeah.
the ultimate form of art."
This movie definitely had it all.
Yeah. Like, I love sculpture, don't get me wrong. Fucking marble sculptures, like the ones where you like they're carved so thin light shines through it. It's like, how?
They do perfect like silk.
Yeah,
and everything.
and
I
like
don't know
facial
how.
and it's like, how'd you do that? You're better than me. Okay, but like film is better than that in my opinion. Guitarist and Dinosaur Jr. dude with the long white hair. It started a band called Witch, and it's kind of like a doomy, kind of rocky. It's pretty good. The first album's good. I never really went beyond that. But I started listening to that again. Changing is a good song. Yeah, I fucking love this movie. I love this movie.
Yeah.
And
This was the best, like, random pick I think we've had yet.
And you know what's the best part is? You'll see the Krampus review come up soon where I'm fucking pissed off and miserable because I just watched a bad movie. And then you'll see this review where I'm like, ha ha ha, because I just watched a good movie.
No, the Krampus review is the perfect example of our channel.
Yeah. Where you're like, I like it because the thing is different, like Christmas but scary. And I'm like, fuck that. This is Christmas but scary. Fuck Krampus. This is way scarier than Krampus. The imagery in this, the thousands of Santas where they just keep coming through the chimney and they're like suffocating you in a room, that's terrifying. The one had that random albino reindeer and they just zoom in on its eye and it's
one
like,
just drinking a flask.
yeah, one's drunk, like they all keep giving him the same toy and he's like up against the wall and they're all still trying to give him toys.
So sad too. He had to grab his teddy bear. Then when he comes out of the thing, he's in the sarcophagus thing.
And they take the teddy bear and drop it over the side.
Ugh.
But the teddy bear comes back.
Yeah, the main plot of this movie is Ron Perlman trying to save his brother.
His little brother. Well, we should
probably
talk about the Chad character of this movie.
Kid just eats
He
everything.
eats, he burps, and if
And
you
he
touch
bites.
him, he'll bite you. He has no lines in the movie. He's constantly, his ultimate goal is to fill his belly.
He like takes a bite of a candle. And he's like, ugh. Then they go back to him after like.
No, he takes a bite of the candle and goes, ugh. And then he starts eating it again.
And he's like, substance.
Yeah, whatever, sustenance.
Shut up.
Not substance.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
I like this movie. You guys should watch it. I highly recommend this movie.
I think I recommend this probably more than most movies.
This is going to be a movie that I will be talking to people about for a very. Remember when I saw Scaramouche and for like 3 months I was like, dude, you gotta watch Scaramouche. This is that movie. This is my new Scaramouche. I really enjoyed this movie.
Thanks for watching.